you have asked exactly what crowdfunding is. And so I decided, okay, let us have one session on crowdfunding. Crowdfunding, the term, of late it is gaining very importance and it is a very often talked about term. You will hear this term in lot of academic as well as political and managerial discourses, crowdfunding. And it seems that this is a very new thing. But in fact, this is not very new thing. This is a very old concept, almost 200 years old concept this crowdfunding is. Basically, the term angel investor or the venture capital, that has also emerged from the term crowdfunding. Today we shall not be going into that much of the detail related to the crowdfunding. We shall be discussing very much basics about the crowdfunding so that you can have some idea about what crowdfunding is, and later on you can have some interest, and once this interest is generated you can identify or you can find out the requisite answers to the questions. So we shall be discussing about crowdfunding today. The word crowdfunding it consists of two words, crowd and funding. There has to be certain crowd. And what is crowd? More than one person who cannot be distinguishingly or separately identified. Like crowd do not have any face, crowd do not have any voice, but crowd is there, lot of people there, but individually they don't have any existence. So here the crowdfunding is the word crowd, and when the crowd they fund something, some activities, that becomes crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is a method of obtaining a project funding. Now here in the last class someone of you have asked like how it is different from IPO. IPO is a very formal mechanism of raising fund. In a broader sense, IPO can also be termed as crowdfunding, but one thing that IPO is a very formal mechanism of raising fund. It requires issue of prospectus, vetting of prospectus by the competent authorities. Here in India it is SEBI, in USA it is the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission. Lot of approvals are required, lot of permissions are required. You have to present your balance sheet, profit and loss account, annual statement, your mission and vision statement to the investors, and then only you will be getting money for IPO. It is very formal mechanism. Application has to be given, that has to be accepted, that is IPO. Crowdfunding is a method for obtaining project funding. Now here a project may not be a business project. Project may be a charity, project may be some business, project may be some startups, project may be building some temple, it may be some charitable organization, charitable institution, some charity, it may be constructing a road or dam or anything that can be a crowdfunding. By soliciting contributions. Crowdfunding is a method for obtaining project funding, method for obtaining funding by soliciting contributions. Contributions are invited. From whom? From a large group of people. Okay, not one people, two people, it's a large group of people that contributions are invited. For example, construction of Ram Mandir at Ayodhya. Here one appeal is made by the Ram Mandir Trust that we are going to build this temple on the basis of the fundings that will be receiving from the people of India, and as high as almost 3,500 crores worth of rupees has been given by the people of India from different parts of the country and the world to construct the temple. So it's a large group of people, and if you ask like, who has given money for the construction of that temple, it's not identifiable. Okay, many people, thousands and lakhs of people have given money for the construction of that temple. So that's from a large group of people, and especially from online community. Here crowdfunding, why it is gaining attention nowadays? Because of this, the spread of internet over different corners of the country and the reach of internet to the different people, different age group of the people, different category of the people, and that's why now its appeal is on a very vast scale. Because once we are making some appeal from an online community or based from some online platforms, now its presence is, or its impact is very high, and that's why this crowdfunding is the term nowadays very much associated or very much talked about terminology crowdfunding. It is an updated version of a traditional fundraising process. It is an updated version. In earlier days also, people used to construct some temple or some dams or some schools, and they used to invite donations from a large masses. So anybody whosoever have interest in that particular idea, that particular project, or that particular charitable institutions, they used to donate. And this is how the entire process kept on going. It used to be that church groups or civic groups would raise money to build a school or some community project. Here in Europe, it was started that some churches or some civil organizations, they started asking money, like appealing to the people to donate money, to provide money to build some schools or community project. And with the internet, that local group can reach out to a much larger population. This is the crux, that with the internet, the last line, the internet, that local group, otherwise which would have been restricted only to the local domain, local area, now that can reach to a much larger population. Now, early crowdfunding efforts can even dates back to the 18th century. Here, in the recorded history, actually in the context of Europe, that crowdfunding efforts are dates back to the 18th century. What happened in the 18th century? In Europe, some writers and musicians, whenever they have to get their book published or get their music recorded or published, they need money. But writers and musicians, they do not have money, so they just identified one way to accumulate money or collect money, and that is through crowdfunding. And it was in the 18th century. Prior to the 18th century, uh, as you must be knowing, that this is considered the dark age in the European history. There is no significant invention up to 17th century in the Europe. Much of the inventions were actually after 17th century. Lot of writers, lot of musicians, philosophers, scientists, they emerged, and they made an appeal to the general masses to contribute money for getting their manuscripts published. That is the history of crowdfunding in Europe. From whom they used to make appeal? From many investors. It's not one investor, it's many investors, and the contributions are from £1 to hundreds and thousands of pounds. So that is from many investors. They used to do that to publish large pieces of work. Okay, this is about the history part. Now, in the recent past, what happened? One of the earliest crowdfunding platform was launched in the year 2008. Recently, in the year 2008, one crowdfunding platform was launched. I will just tell you the name of that website, but before that, as you know that this crowdfunding, this is the concept which is very popular in Europe since 18th century. That is actually the recorded part, but actually this crowdfunding conceptually, it is in presence since the beginning of this millennium, we can say, or even before that, before the, even if we just say like before Christ also, this crowdfunding concept was there, but people may not be using the terminology crowdfunding, but this crowdfunding was there. Our temples, our schools, universities, everything was built from the crowdfunding only. If you ask who has built Takshashila University or Nalanda University or Vikramshila University or Ujjain University, you will not be able to name one person like who has built that. It was the society which was funding the entire operations of those universities. In India, the schools were funded by the people residing around that schools, that college, that locality. So every village used to have one school, and that school is funded by that village. It's a crowdfunding. You cannot name one person that so and so has funded that particular school, and that was there since time immemorial. That did from this, not time immemorial, but from that Vedic period. But later on, maybe because of the different regions, because of the advent of or invasion, lot of invasions, this crowdfunding things have been just washed away from our society. People become more materialistic, more business minded, and this crowdfunding was more or less, it was not in presence significantly. It was there to some extent, but significantly it was not there. Recent crowdfunding platform, that is online crowdfunding, because after this, in the new millennium, one thing that has revolutionized the entire world is the internet. Prior to that, though crowdfunding conceptually it was there since uh, the Vedic period in India, or since a very long time in Europe, but internet was not there, and that's why the appeal that people used to make to the general masses was limited only to the certain locality only. But in the new millennium, that is after 2000, this internet, this is the new technology, it has revolutionized the entire world, and with the presence of internet, that appeal that people used to make have a bigger impact. Then later on, people used to develop some websites also for this crowdfunding, and one such notable feature, notable website was found in the year 2008. And what was the occasion? Its co-founder could not find a meaningful way to help families affected by Hurricane Katrina. So one storm was there named Hurricane Katrina, and it was very devastating storm. Lakhs and lakhs of families were affected because of this storm, and the founder, he could not find a meaningful way how to help these families. So he has launched one website that whosoever are interested in helping those people from anywhere in the world can donate to this particular website, so that the entire money can be diverted for the benefit of the people who are affected by this particular storm. So the name of the website was Give Forward. It was the website Give Forward. So it was basically a crowdfunding website. So it is the first crowdfunding website of recent times, online crowdfunding website, we can say. Websites are always online. So it is first crowdfunding website. Another early crowdfunding platform that has generated huge success is Kickstarter. And after that, of late, there are more than 500 number of such websites. So Give Forward was the first website, and then Kickstarter was another notable website, and as of now there are 500 such websites which are actively working in the field of crowdfunding. Now you might ask, what is the benefit of these websites? So these websites, actually they are just floating your idea, and in return they are also charging some commission for routing money from different parts of the world for your particular purpose. So they used to charge certain commission for that, and this is the business of these websites. Okay, so this is about this crowdfunding. Why does it work? How does it actually work? So it is small donations from many people can raise a lot of money. This is the whole simple philosophy of any crowdfunding website. Small donations from many people can raise a lot of money. Okay, in Indian context, even 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 1000 rupees, 100 rupees, small donations can raise a huge money. Construction of Ram Mandir at Ayodhya is one such example where people have donated not only thousands and lakhs, but even like from 1 rupee to 1 crore, different people have donated as per their capacity. So that small donations, it has now a total, the amount that is collected for that particular purpose is more than 3,500 crore. So there is small donations, 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, that is the quantum of donations from billions and billions of people. By tapping into your online social connections, you can reach a much broader audience. So ultimately, because nowadays it is the day of social media, so using your social connections, one can reach to a much broader audience in less time than the traditional fundraising process. I am emphasizing the word this traditional fundraising process because this crowdfunding is not a new thing. But only thing is that nowadays it is becoming more popular simply because of this internet and its online presence. So now any person can use this crowdfunding websites or this crowdfunding for the benefit of its project or for society or for any charitable purpose using that social media connections, because using the social media the reach is manifold. Sites like crowdfunder is there, so they are actually they're like there are certain specialized websites also, not all the crowdfunding websites are of similar nature. Like crowdfunder, they are specialized in business and technology related startups. Crowdrise, they are basically in the charitable and causes. Quirky, they are the funds for the inventors. Invested.in, to create your own funding community. Indiegogo, no specialized, general crowdfunding website. So you just see that crowdfunding websites are also categorized based on their specialization and what kind of ideas and what kind of businesses they are floating. So if it is related to business, better you go to the crowdfunder. If you are interested in this charitable fundraising for charitable purpose, then it is not viable to it is not wise to go to the crowdfunder or Quirky. Just go to the Fundrise. And if you are trying to raise funds for some invention, you have invented something, so this crowdfunding website is there, because the donors or the people who are interested in particular area, they normally go to that particular websites. Suppose I am interested in giving some money or investing my money for certain projects which are very innovative projects, so definitely I will not be going to this CrowdRise websites. I will definitely be going to this Quirky websites. But suppose I am a person like who wants to do some charity and donate money for some charitable purpose, then definitely I will not be going to this particular website where actually most of the proposals will be coming for the business and startups, technology related startups. So that's why these are different types of crowdfunding sites are also there. Now, one thing is that crowdsourcing versus crowdfunding. Two things are there: crowdsourcing and the crowdfunding. Crowdfunding, it is just raising money. Crowdsourcing, raising ideas. It's very simple. If it means all the crowdfunding falls within the domain of crowdsourcing, but all the crowdsourcing is not crowdfunding. Crowdsourcing, it includes crowdfunding, that raising money as well as idea as well as inventions, anything that is crowdsourcing. But crowdfunding is especially for the money only. So crowdfunding falls under the crowdsourcing umbrella, but not all crowdsourcing services are looking for donations. Some crowdsourcing sites collect innovative ideas or work on problem solving questions. Okay, so crowdsourcing site like open source software is one thing that it's crowdsourcing. Like you cannot say that okay, this particular company or this particular innovator is the owner of this particular software. Say for example, one software is there, R, it's a crowdsourcing software. Linux is there, it's a crowdsourcing. You cannot attach any name with any company, so that crowdsourcing. So it's lot of people, thousands and lakhs of people are actually contributing to the development of that project, that innovative idea, or they are just working on that project or problem to solve certain questions. So crowdsourcing is relatively a bigger terminology. Now, the question that you have asked, two basic models for fundraising. One is the donation based and second is the investment based. Now, it may also happen that whosoever will be investing in your project, they will be given certain share. So that is ultimately some shares will be issued. If it is a company, some shares will be issued, and later on, whatever the profit will be raised in that company, so proportionately that profit will be shared among all the investors in the proportion of money that they have contributed, that is in terms of their share. If it is a donation, definitely there is no question of return. So it may be investment based, it may be donation based. And if it is investment based, then in investment based also, it may be that some people might be coming to you that, okay, I am ready to give my money, but I will charge interest at such and such percentage. So that is actually not investing in contributing to the equity capital of the company, but rather they are contributing, giving only this loan capital to the company. They are giving loan to the company, but the source is crowdfunding. You have just floated your idea. Some people have read your idea and they had that money, enough of money, and they came up with that money. Okay, I will be giving some money for your business. So that is, so it may be that mutual agreement on the different situations. Sometimes it is based on equity, sometimes it is loan, sometimes shares will be issued in that company, sometimes share may not be issued because it may not be a company, it may be still be a partnership firm or a sole proprietorship firm, or it may be a cooperative firm, or it may be a trust that will be doing business. Like Patanjali is a trust. Okay, Patanjali is a trust. It is, so you cannot ask for any share from a Patanjali because it is a trust, and as a trust it cannot issue shares to anyone whosoever is contributing money to that particular organization. So it depends what kind of organization you are and what actually you are willing to do in that crowdfunding. Is your question complete? Is that your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the last slide is this, the process, how to go for this cloud funding. So just create a page, spread the word. Spread the word means just we have to develop a website or develop an application, or you can go to some existing crowdfunding websites that the name that we have just mentioned. These are only a few. There are around 500 such websites in the world which are actively engaged in the business of crowdfunding. So you can either go to those, you can hire the services of those websites, or you can create a web page of your own. And then you have to spread the idea. Whole thing is that you have to spread the idea anyhow. It may be through a Facebook post also. Okay, just you are making a Facebook post or a Twitter post that, okay, I am working on such and such idea. Anybody whoever is interested can donate money in such and such account. You will find certain YouTube channel which are actually when they are actually being played, so one scroll is there in the bottom of those channels that Paytm or account number and Phone Pay, Google Pay account number is just mentioned at the bottom of all those YouTube channels. Like whosoever is interested in donating money can donate through that account, and that with this they can support the channel. Wikipedia is a crowdsourcing website. It's not only crowdfunding, it is crowdsourcing. Wikipedia entire website is just running based on the crowdsourcing. You cannot say that, okay, this particular content is written by one particular author. Lakhs and lakhs of authors are writing up on that Wikipedia. They're contributing their ideas to the Wikipedia. So ultimately the idea is that you have to just float your idea. It may be a Facebook post, it may be a Twitter post, it may be you can create your own web page or any YouTube channel or any other social media platform, or just by giving some advertisement in the newspaper. But you have to create, you have to spread your idea, and ultimately just based on the idea, spreading the idea, you can collect donations from the interested parties. And this is how this entire crowdsourcing it works. Collecting donations or collecting money, it may be for the purpose of business, it may not be for the purpose of business. It may be for the charitable purpose, that is for like spreading some idea, some information in the society, bringing some awareness in the society, or it may be building some temples or schools. So ultimately that donation will be collected and the things will be implemented. Now the question is, why should I donate to a particular website, or why should I donate to a particular news channel or YouTube channel, or just based on that Facebook post, why should I donate? So it's all depends upon the credibility of that person who is making that appeal, who is spreading the word. Okay, if anything, like suppose Baba Ramdev is asking for some money, there are thousands and thousands of people whose devotees are there who will be contributing money. If for the Ram Mandir Trust, people have asked, many people have donated without asking a second question, why should I donate, and what is the credibility or authenticity of the people who are coming to their home for collecting money. So it all depends on the credibility and authenticity and the image that the person have built about his product or his about himself or herself, and about the idea, how it will be working, the past track record, everything. There is nothing like anybody who will be making that appeal and everybody will be getting donations. It's not right that like that. It from person to person, different from person to person. If like a person like Baba Ramdev is making appeal, it may be getting lot of attention, lot of donors. If I'm making an appeal, it may be reaching to very few people. If Narendra Modi is making appeal, it may go to a large number of people, masses. So this is how this entire crowdfunding works. And ultimately in this crowdfunding, at one point of time, that is that investment based, it may lead to that venture capital funding also. That we have floated some idea, some venture capitalist is interested, that venture capitalist may come and invest their money in your idea, in your project, which is a business project. And ultimately some of the crowdfunding, it turns out to be venture capital financing, some. So this is all about this crowdfunding.